Before we crack open tonight's cursed can of content, I just want to say a big thank you to all our subscribers, and an extra sinister shout out to the loyal members of the Sinister Elite. You legends help keep the darkness alive. If you're enjoying the stories and want to take it a step further, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and consider joining the Sinister Elite by clicking that join button below. Members get access to creepy custom emojis and exclusive Sinister Elite badges that level up the longer you survive with us. It's like loyalty, but spookier. All right, lights off, headphones in, and let's summon something we'll all regret. They issued me a vampire kit with my first uniform. Not joking. Olive drab box. Sticker on the lid. City EMS. Type V incidents. I expected gauze and maybe a wooden stake for morale. Instead, I got saline, silver tape, a window sealant tube, and a laminated card that smelled like hospital coffee. The card was titled Night Rules in big block letters, like the 10 Commandments, but for medics with bad sleep schedules, never administer blood transfusions at night. If the patient flatlines, do not perform CPR. Seal the windows on return to base. If they whisper your name and you never told them your name, don't answer. Somewhere in the training officer's office, there's a legal department that thinks this is normal. Relax, says my partner, Diaz. She's been on nights for 12 years and carries herself like a portable thunderstorm. Type V calls pay the same as broken ankles. We follow the card. We go home. I'm the rookie. I still shine my boots. I keep a protein bar in my breast pocket because it makes me feel prepared, also because I panic eat. We're parked under a bridge at 1:07 a.m. The river talks to the concrete like it's trying to rehearse a secret. The radio crackles. Medic, 40. 3. Respond priority 2. Altered mental status. Possible type V exposure. Corner of Bleecker and 9th, over. Diaz flicks the lights on. Siren with the low whoop. A cat watches us go by like it's seen this episode already and didn't love the ending. So, Diaz says, one hand on the wheel, the other on coffee that could strip paint. Rule check, rookie. I know the card. She glances at me. I said, rule check. I read, never transfuse at night. No CPR on flatline. Seal windows on return. Don't answer if they whisper your... My radio crackles my name, soft, like someone blowing on hot glass. Evan. I look at Diaz. She didn't say it. The radio is silent again. My stomach does a slow, graceful backflip. Diaz doesn't blink. Good. You passed the vibe check. Don't answer voices that act like they know you. That one's not in the city budget. Who was... Ambient interference, she says. Or the river. Or the part of Bleecker where nothing stays dead, you'll get used to it. We arrive to a crowd of bar smoke and alleyway neon. The patient is on the sidewalk, propped against a stack of empty kegs. Mid-20s. Shirt torn, at the collar blood in the shape of parentheses around his neck. His eyes are wide, fogged, hungry, but not in a food way. In an I can smell your birthday way. A bartender waves us over. He was in the bathroom for 20 minutes, she says. Came out quiet, kept smiling. Diaz kneels, gloved up. Buddy, what's your name? He watches me the way dogs watch roast beef commercials. Evan, he says. I freeze. I didn't tell him my name. Diaz doesn't look up. He didn't ask. I snap a blood pressure cuff around his arm because doing something feels safer than screaming. His skin is cool. Not dead, not alive. Like leftovers. BP low, heart rate slow. Pupils, wrong. You know how pupils dilate? His do the opposite. They tighten when I pull the pen light away, like they're listening. Diaz nods at the kit. Check the bite. I peel back the shirt. 2 clean punctures, no torn flesh, no bruising. The bleeding is neat, controlled, like it had an audience. Probably consensual, the bartender says, then immediately regrets it. I mean, like a club thing? Like costumes? Yup, Diaz says because she's merciful. Halloween in July happens. I reach for the gauze. The patient leans toward me. He inhales. Deep, slow, satisfied. "Evan," he says, "you smell like dawn." I step back so hard I almost sit on the kegs. The bartender crosses herself with a bar rag, realizes it's a bar rag, tries again with the other hand. We load him into the rig. Diaz takes the head. I secure his arms without making it look like I'm securing his arms. He smiles at the ceiling like he's watching fireworks only he can see. Diaz keeps her voice casual. "Rookie, what does Rule 1 say? No transfusions at night." "Right. The last thing you want is to top off the tank." "I wasn't going to." "Good, because I hate paperwork." The patient turns his head. "Do you know," he says calmly, "how quiet the world gets? 5 seconds after a heart stops?" Diaz doesn't blink. "We're going to the hospital, friend." He studies her. "You don't smell like dawn." "Been on nights a long time." The rig hums. The city passes in streaks. I focus on vitals, on numbers, on anything that isn't the small, strange ideas nesting behind his eyes. He whispers again, soft enough that it lands in my head instead of the air. "Evan." I pretend I don't hear. Rule 4. "Evan," he repeats. "If I stop, don't push." Diaz meets my gaze over his shoulder. Calm, stern. Rule 2. If he flatlines, no CPR. They taught us this with slideshows and incident reports and a video where the mannequin sits up after compressions and thanks the instructor in a voice not from Earth. I clear my throat. "Why don't you want CPR?" He smiles like he knows a joke about me that I haven't heard yet. "Because it's an invitation." He stares at the window as if a face is riding outside the glass. The monitor beeps. Slow. Slower. Then a single long tone. Flatline. The monitor's alarm yelps. All my training shoves me forward. Hands to sternum. Compress. Breathe, fight. My elbows twitch toward motion. Diaz doesn't move. Her eyes lock on mine. That look says, "Don't be a hero. Be a partner." The card burns in my pocket. The patient exhales, and the breath is wrong. It's too long. Too certain. Like a swimmer who finally reached the bottom of the pool. He is still. The rig feels colder. The windows fog in spirals, not sheets. Something taps the glass from the outside. Once. Twice. The sounds are small, like teeth. I hover over his chest and do not push. The flatline tone keeps singing. It's steady. It could be a lullaby, if lullabies were written by caves. "Evan," he says. His lips didn't move. Diaz's hand squeezes my wrist. "Eyes on me, rookie." "Evan," the voice repeats. Closer. Inside the word is a smile. I keep my mouth shut so hard my jaw clicks. The monitor hiccups. The long tone breaks. A single beat. Another. Slow. Wrong. Backwards. If a heart could practice walking on its hands, it would sound like this. The patient's chest rises, empty of urgency. His eyes open. They are not the same eyes. They reflect nothing. Not me. Not Diaz. Not the ceiling lights. It's like looking at two small lakes at midnight and listening for frogs that never lived. Diaz nods once, satisfied. "Good restraint." I try to swallow and my throat forgets how. "He just came back the way he wanted," she says, "because we didn't invite anything else to the party." The tapping on the window stops. The fog pulls itself into a thin ring, a mouth on the glass. It hovers there, a print with no face attached. Then it fades like breath in winter. We don't speak the rest of the ride. I keep his vitals, announce numbers, pretend this is a normal night where normal rules rule. The hospital is a square of light in a city that keeps secrets like coins. We back in. Nurses wait with a cart and faces that are brave until they aren't. We transfer. The patient hums the long flatline tone to himself like a favorite song. As we push out of the bay, Diaz hands me the card again. "Welcome to Nights." I read the last line, small print I didn't notice before. 5. If you feel something watching you from the rearview mirror, do not adjust it. On the drive back, there is a weight in the mirror. A shape that understands my name better than I do. I look straight ahead. I do not adjust. Windows, Diaz says when we park. I seal them. The tube hisses. The sealant smells like lemons and hospitals and superstition. When I click the last latch, the radio sighs. Medic 43, stand by for another. Possible type V. Caller reports the patient is singing. Diaz smiles like thunder warming up. Now we're having a shift. I check my pocket. The card is warm. Evan. The night whispers. I don't answer. You'd think after the first vampire patient, the city would give us a break. Nope. 2 hours later, another call. Possible type V. Downtown karaoke bar. Diaz downs her third coffee. I'm trying to keep my hands from shaking, but the caffeine isn't helping. The streets are quiet. Too quiet. Like the whole city's holding its breath. We roll up to the Red Mike Lounge. The neon sign flickers like a dying artery. Someone inside is singing off-key, which is honestly the scariest part so far. The bouncer waves us over. She's in the booth, he says. Passed out after her song. Only she's still humming. Inside, the air smells like perfume, iron, and stage lights that should have burned out decades ago. The singer's sprawled on the stage floor, mic in hand. Her lips move even though no sound comes out. Her throat, 2 puncture marks. Same signature. Diaz whispers, same guy? Or a fan club? We kneel, I grab vitals, pulse faint, skin cold. Diaz shines her penlight. The pupils shrink again, backwards, just like the first one. Then the mic kicks on by itself. A whisper, faint but smooth. Diaz. She freezes. That's new. I look at the mic cord. It's unplugged. The speakers hum anyway. Diaz, the voice repeats. Don't let him drive. She looks at me. Did he just... Yeah, I say. Apparently ghosts are opinionated about carpooling. She smirks despite herself. City budget doesn't pay me enough for this duet. We load the singer up. The bouncer refuses to help. Says he saw her reflection smile after she fainted. Says her teeth were wrong. In the rig, I start charting vitals. The patient's mouth keeps twitching like she's mouthing lyrics. Only she knows Diaz hits the siren. The mic on the dash hisses. Evan, the radio whispers again. Do you like music? Not anymore. Diaz snorts. Rule 4, rookie. Don't answer. I shut my mouth and stare straight ahead. The city blurs by. All silver glass and sodium streetlights. The patient starts humming in harmony with the siren. Perfect pitch. The kind of pitch that crawls under your skin and finds a frequency in your bones. Diaz kills the siren. The hum keeps going. We both stare at her. That's impressive lung capacity for someone technically dying, I say. Then her eyes open. Not glowing. Not monster movie bright. Just aware. She whispers, "You shouldn't have sealed the windows." Diaz mutters, "Great. Now they're giving home improvement tips." The humming shifts, deeper, like someone singing through a tunnel. The rearview mirror fogs over. I remember Rule 5. Don't adjust it. The fog clears just enough for me to see a shape behind us. Tall, dark, wearing something that moves like smoke eyes like burnt gold coins. "Diaz," I whisper. "Yeah." "Don't look back." Wasn't planning to. The shape leans closer. I can feel it thinking against my neck. Then the fog sucks itself back into the mirror and vanishes. The patient stops humming. Her pulse steadies. For a second, everything's quiet. Then the radio beeps. Dispatch voice, calm as always. Medic 43, confirm patient status. Diaz grabs the mic. Stable enough. Possible recurrent exposure. The radio replies, but not in dispatch's voice. Rule 6, Diaz. Diaz frowns. There's a Rule 6? I look at the card. No. Only 5. The radio clicks again. There is now. Silence. We exchange looks. Diaz exhales. Well, that's just peachy. We pull into the hospital bay. The same nurses are waiting. faces pale under fluorescent light. The patient starts humming again as they wheel her inside. The song follows us like a smell. Diaz and I slump in the rig. She looks at me. You know what Rule 6 probably is? What? Quit while you still can. I laugh because if I don't, I'll scream, nah, I just got my pension paperwork. She cracks a smile. Then buckle up, rookie, because in this city, even the dead file overtime. The radio hisses one last time. Evan, it says softly. Shift's not over. By 3:12 a.m., the city feels hollow. No wind, no sirens but ours. Just the low hum of streetlights and the constant static of things trying not to be heard. Diaz pulls into the bay for a quick break, which is paramedic code for we're about to question our life choices over burnt coffee. She pours me a cup from the pot labeled hazmat only. It's half joke, half warning. Drink up, rookie, she says. Caffeine keeps the nightmares guessing. I take a sip. Pretty sure this coffee's haunted. Good. Then it'll fit right in. We sit on the ambulance bumper, steam rising into cold air. The parking lot smells like diesel and disinfectant. Back when I started, Diaz says, we didn't call them vampires, too gothic. The city called them post-biological citizens. That's worse. Yeah, bureaucracy always is. Before I can answer, the dispatch radio chirps again. Medic 43, priority 1, officer down, type V exposure. Diaz sighs. Guess break's over? We climb in, lights on, siren up, tires screaming through wet streets. The scene's a mess. Squad cars, flashing blues, a perimeter no one's brave enough to cross. An officer waves us over. She just collapsed, he says. 1 second she's cuffing a guy, next she's smiling at him. The patient's sitting upright against the cruiser. Her uniform's neat except for the blood at her neck and the fact she's humming the same tune we heard at the karaoke bar. Same song, I whisper. Diaz mutters, Great, we've got a top 40 infection. I crouch. Ma'am, you with us? Her eyes focus on me like camera lenses. Evan, she says softly. I look at Diaz. Did dispatch? No, Diaz says. She shouldn't know your name. The officer steps back. You two know each other? Not in this lifetime, I mutter. We load her up. Diaz drives. I stay in back, watching the monitor blink lazy green lines. For a while, everything's quiet. Then she speaks. Do you believe in donation, Evan? What kind of donation? The kind where you give what makes you warm. I grip the railing tighter. Ma'am, please don't move. You lost a lot of blood. She smiles, too calm. Not mine. The monitor spikes, heart rate rising, then drops, then flattens. Flatline. Diaz looks back in the mirror. Don't. I wasn't going to. You were thinking about it. I was thinking about running away. Smart man. Then the flatline tone glitches, becomes a hum. The same pitch as her song, the cab lights flicker. The patient opens her eyes again. They're dull red now, glowing like tail lights in fog. Evan, she whispers. Rule 7. I blink. There's a 7 now? She grins, slow and feral. It's contagious. Before I can move, she lunges. Not fast, just certain. Her cuffed hands reach my chest, but not with claws. With intent. Diaz slams the brakes. I hit the floor. The cuffs hold. Barely. The officer's voice comes from her mouth, calm as a report. Patient stable. Rookie exposed. Diaz throws the rig into park and yanks the rear door open. Out! Now! I stumble into the street. My chest burns where she touched me. Not bleeding, not bruised. Just warm. Diaz grabs my collar. Tell me she didn't bite you. She didn't. You sure? I'd noticed teeth, Diaz. She stares for a beat longer than I like. Then she nods. Okay. Wash up. Disinfect. Burn your uniform. Is that regulation? No, that's superstition. But superstition's had a better track record tonight. I peel off the gloves, toss them in the bio bin, and notice something. The blood on them, her blood, is evaporating, not drying, disappearing. Diaz sees it too. "Yeah," she says. "That's not normal." The radio pops. "Medic 43, confirm exposure." Diaz hesitates, then answers, "Minor contact, rookie intact, static." Then a whisper through the speakers, "He isn't." We both freeze. "Dispatch?" Diaz says. "Nothing." She clicks the mic off. "We're done talking to ghosts." She looks at me. "You feel weird?" I mean, I always feel weird. Not that kind. Vampire weird. I check my pulse, fast. My reflection in the side mirror looks pale, but that might just be the fluorescent light Diaz notices. "Rule 8, she says suddenly. "There's an 8 now?" "Yeah. If you're not sure whether you're infected." "What?" "Let me drive." "Fine by me." We roll back toward base. The streets are empty, like the city's holding its breath again. Diaz hums the siren pattern under her breath, a nervous habit. I realize I'm humming too. Same melody as the patient, same key. She looks at me. "Rookie." I stop humming. "Yeah?" "You're buying the next coffee." "Deal." She doesn't smile. The rearview mirror fogs up again. The faint outline of my face blurs. For a second, I can't tell if it's my reflection or hers. I glance down at the rule card in my lap. It's changed. There's new text scribbled across the bottom, written in something that looks a lot like blood. Rule 7. Infection begins with imitation. Rule 8. If you start humming, stop. The next breath I take hums on its own. Diaz turns up the radio to drown it out. "Shift's not over," it whispers. You know that feeling when a song gets stuck in your head and won't leave? Now imagine that song's trying to move in. By 4:20 a.m., my brain feels like a jukebox that only plays funeral hymns. I keep catching myself humming that same tune from the patients. Under my breath, between sentences, even when I'm trying not to. Diaz notices. Of course she does. "You're humming," she says. "No, I'm not." "You're humming right now." I clamp my mouth shut. I think it's just stress. She gives me a look like she's debating whether to hit me with the defibrillator for fun or for safety. "Rule 8, rookie." I know. She keeps driving. "Don't make me duct tape your mouth." "You'd have to catch me first." "Please." "You'd trip over your stethoscope." The banter helps until the radio crackles again. A voice cuts through the static. Smooth. Familiar. "Evan." I groan. "Not this again." Diaz kills the volume, but the voice keeps talking. "Stop fighting the song." We stare at the speaker. It's unplugged. Diaz mutters, "You ever wish you'd gone to dental school instead?" "Yeah, but then I'd still be dealing with fangs." The radio hisses laughter. Not static. Laughter like someone found us funny. Dispatch sends us another call. Unconscious at laundromat. Possible V exposure. When we arrive, the air smells like bleach and something metallic. One of the dryers is still spinning, clunking with every turn. Inside, a white shirt smears against the glass like it's trying to escape. The patient's on the floor. Middle-aged guy, maintenance uniform, pale as moonlight. His eyes are open, mouth humming. Same song. Diaz sighs. It's officially a greatest hit. She kneels to check his pulse. I start prepping a saline IV just to look busy. Then I notice the dryer. The shirt inside stops spinning mid-cycle. The hum from the machine joins in with the patient's tune. Mechanical harmony. "Diaz," I whisper. "I think the appliances are singing now." She doesn't even look up. City code violation, probably. Then the lights flicker. The humming deepens. It's not coming from one machine anymore. It's coming from all of them: washers, dryers, pipes, the floor itself. Diaz stands. Time to go. The patient's head turns toward me. His mouth keeps moving, but the sound isn't his. It's mine. My own voice. Humming through him, I drop the IV bag. Okay. Nope. I'm officially done. Diaz grabs my arm and hauls me out the door. Behind us, the whole laundromat starts to sing. One single rising note that shakes the windows outside. The night is silent again. Not peaceful. Just waiting. Diaz slams the rig doors. We're calling it in. Calling who? I ask. Ghostbusters? The Vatican? She stares at the dash, thinking, public health. Public health? Yeah. This started as a bite thing. Now it's airborne audio. That's not a medical emergency anymore. That's a citywide outbreak. I nod, still catching my breath. You think it spreads through sound? She shrugs. Would explain why everyone infected sings the same song. I rub my temples. I wasn't even bitten. Doesn't matter, you heard it. That's enough. She hands me the rule card. New words are scrawled across the bottom again. Jagged handwriting. Rule 9. The infection travels by echo rule. 10. Silence is survival. We sit in the parked rig, staring at each other in absolute quiet. I whisper, so what? We can't talk now? Diaz mouths, no. I nod. Got it. The radio clicks. Static. Then faint humming. Like it's testing us. Diaz flips the power off completely. We wait. Nothing. I exhale, relieved. Then I realize I can still hear the song not from the radio, from inside the rig. The glove compartment hums. The steering wheel vibrates. My chest picks up the rhythm again, involuntarily. Diaz glares at me. Stop it. I'm not. The words die halfway out. The sound continues without me. My throat moves, but I'm not controlling it. Diaz rips open the first aid kit and grabs duct tape. She slaps it across my mouth. Congratulations, you're now part of the sound system. I give her a wide-eyed thumbs up. The hum fades for now. She exhales. If you start harmonizing, I'm putting you in quarantine. I nod, muffled. Then the dispatch light on the dash flashes red. No sound, just blinking. A new message scrolls across the screen. Type V incident. EMS unit. Compromised. Response. Terminate audio contact. Diaz whispers, they're talking about us. I rip the tape off because of course I do. What the hell does that mean? She looks at me. It means rookie. We're the patients now. By 5:07 a.m., the skyline looks like a heartbeat on life support. Streetlights flicker in rhythm. Every few seconds, one blinks out, almost on beat. Diaz drives without sirens. The rule card sits on the dash like it's judging us. The last two lines glare up in red ink that wasn't there 10 minutes ago. Rule 11. The city listens. Rule 12. Don't sing back. We pass a gas station. The pumps are humming. Not the machines, the people. Two customers sway in unison, mouths open, eyes shut. Like karaoke. Night in hell. Diaz mutters, we're past outbreak. This is a concert. Who's the headliner? Probably you, rookie. I give her the side eye. I can't even carry a tune. Doesn't matter. You've been broadcasting since Bleecker. I check my reflection in the passenger window. The fog that used to linger there is gone. Now it looks like I'm the fog. My skin's pale, almost translucent. I can see faint blue veins, like sheet music under glass. Diaz, I whisper. What if I'm turning? She doesn't answer right away. Her jaw tightens. Then we finish the shift first. Finish the shift? She nods. Rule 1 still stands, never transfuse at night. You made it this far. You're not quitting on my rig. Typical Diaz logic. Deal with the apocalypse, but clock out properly. Dispatch pings again. Silent text scroll across the screen. Central station overrun, staff singing. All units return to base. Diaz snorts. Yeah, that's a hard no. Why? She points at the skyline. The hospital's rooftop lights are pulsing in rhythm with the tune. Entire windows flash like a metronome. I feel the hum vibrate in my teeth. The closer we get downtown, the louder it gets. Hundreds of voices syncing. Perfect harmony. Diaz slams the brakes. We're not going any closer. The rig idles in the middle of the street. The song is everywhere now. From the gutters, from the manholes, from the air itself. I feel it crawling under my skin, begging for release. I want to hum. I want to join. Diaz sees it. Don't you dare. I grip my teeth. I can't stop it. She grabs the stethoscope off my neck and slaps it into my hands. Listen. To what? The silence between notes. That's where we survive. She's right. Between every pulse of sound, there's a split second of emptiness. A breath where nothing exists. I focus on that. Hold it. Breathe with it. The hum falters. My throat stills. Diaz grins. Attaboy, you just muted yourself. The radio clicks on by itself. A voice croons through the static, half singing, half smiling. Evan! Diaz, you're off key. She smacks the power switch, but the sound keeps going. The rig starts humming again. I grab the sealant tube from the vampire kit. What if we seal the doors? Diaz nods. Do it. I smear sealant along every crack, every hinge, every vent. The chemical smell burns my nose. When I'm done, the rig is a tomb on wheels. The world outside sings louder. Furious that we stopped listening, Diaz kills the headlights. The cabin plunges into darkness. For a moment, it's just us. The soundproof silence, the faint buzz of our own heartbeats. Then the radio flickers one last time. Final rule, the voice whispers. Someone has to keep the song. Diaz looks at me. What the hell does that mean? I feel the warmth in my chest again, the same pull from the bitten officer, from the karaoke singer, from every type V we met tonight. It means, I say quietly, it needs a host. Not on my watch. She grabs a syringe of silver nitrate from the kit. This'll burn it out. You ready? Define ready. She jabs it straight into my arm. Pain explodes. The hum in my veins screams, then cuts off like someone pulled the plug. I gasp. Did it work? Diaz listens. Silence. She exhales. Yeah, you're clear. Outside, the sunrise finally breaks over the skyline, orange bleeding into gray. The humming stops, all at once. The entire city falls silent. Diaz leans back against the seat. Shift complete. I laugh weakly. So, what now? She smirks. Now we get breakfast. I grin, as long as it's not blood sausage. We sit there, breathing in the quiet. Then the radio light blinks one last time, soft, gentle. Good morning, Evan. Diaz sighs. You didn't answer, right? I stare straight ahead. Nope. She nods. Good, because Rule 13 just wrote itself. I glance down. Sure enough, on the card. Rule 13. Never trust a quiet sunrise.